Wrestling fans, are you ready? For the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world, let's get ready to rumble! I'm back!
Miss me?
The spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to WrestleRant Radio Season 2, baby. I'm sitting alongside RJ. I am Graham Giuseppe Matthews. We are back, folks, on EC Radio. I've been going live on WrestleRant Radio for the last couple of months, but without RJ. RJ, speak to the people.
How you doing, everybody?
We're doing good. We are all doing good up in here in the EC Radio Hub right here on Endicott College campus. We're talking Monday Night Raw today. We're talking NXT TakeOver on Thursday. We're talking the WWE Network. Total Divas, everything that's happened in the last 4 months that RJ has not been able to rant about. We've been keeping in touch on Twitter, text, everything in the last couple of months, and there's a lot that you want to get off your chest. So before that, we're going to be talking about Raw, everything today. We're going to be recapping it, rewinding it, taking a look back at it, try to understand it, maybe overanalyze it a little bit. This is WrestleRant Radio, baby. For anyone that is not familiar with this show, we are off the cuff. We don't script anything. This isn't Monday Night Raw. This isn't Jerry Springer. This isn't TNA. This isn't WCW Nitro. This is WrestleRant Radio. So let's kick it off right now with RJ. You people have been listening to me rant for the last couple of months now without RJ at my side. So nevertheless, and Jeff Stone walks in the room as I say that. Mr. Jeff Stone, how you doing, folks?
What's up, guys? What's up? Stay Snickers.
Jeff Stone is in the building, ladies and gentlemen. So, RJ, what have your thoughts been on the WWE product in the last 4 months since I saw you last?
The product alone for the last 4 months has been pretty good. Besides the last couple of weeks, it's been pretty bad, which they've been recycling old matches. Obviously, we've been talking about that. But ever since Payback, it's been pretty good. We've seen good feuds that continued from WrestleMania and stuff like that. So, new faces and new stars are starting to rise. So, should be good for the next couple of months for wrestling. And
you were in attendance for the Money in the Bank pay-per-view right here in Massachusetts at the TD Garden, correct? Yep. So how was that experience like?
It was good. It was a good pay-per-view. It was really good. They had too many buffer matches. I feel like they had a bunch of them, but besides that, the main matches were really good.
Yeah, I thought that was a very good show. New champion crowned. I thought the Money in the Bank ladder match I thought was great for the contract. But a lot of good stuff happened in the last couple of months. But of everything that has happened most recently, the one thing I was desperately wanting you to ask about, I wanted to ask you about, was the Bella Twins angle. Now, anyone that's been listening to WrestleRant Radio for a substantial period of time knows that you are a Bella Twins fan.
Yes.
So, RJ, with a lot of criticism that this feud has gotten, I want to get your thoughts on this feud in the last couple of weeks.
I think the feud as a whole is good. I feel like after Stephanie fought Brie at SummerSlam, obviously I felt like she's going to turn on her, but I feel like obviously they've said that they did this whole angle just for the show, but the show's pretty good, so it's kind of worth it in that point. But it's also a good feud for the Divas that we haven't seen in a while, even though it's kind of, there's people been like butchering on how like their acting's kind of bad and stuff like that. It's still a good feud for WWE, for the Divas, and instead of being on Superstars every week, they get to be on Raw.
How many weeks were they like the Bella Twins? How many years were they the Bella Twins?
They've broken up before.
They have broken up before, unofficially, like in dumb feuds.
Yeah. Nothing like this.
John.
No, nothing
like this.
Nothing as high profile as this.
Yeah.
And this is obviously going to be going on for a while. They are not facing off a Night of Champions, which I thought was this Sunday, but apparently not.
I guarantee Brie will find her way in there somehow.
She will. It is a triple threat match for the WWE Divas Championship, and Paige defending against AJ Lee and Brie Bella. I'm sorry, Nikki Bella, right? In the triple threat match.
It should be Brie Bella. Should be in there. Should be a fair forward.
It should be, probably because from a storyline standpoint, it makes sense that she's not in it, but nevertheless.
Even though they both don't have a chance to win, I feel like.
Exactly. I think Paige will come out victorious. She had just won that title.
AJ should still be the champion. I was really upset about that.
I thought that's been a good feud as well over the last couple of months, but yeah, it's been a very few months.
It's a little weird feud, but it's what it is.
Yeah, the whole lesbian thing that they've been teasing as of late. Some people like it, some people don't, but
I like it.
Like you said, Jeff Stone says he likes it. But with that being said, though, you just said it yourself. I mean, although it may be a bad feud between the Bella Twins, however may you look at it, it's all opinion based here. At least they're not on Superstars. It gives them something to do.
Yeah.
How often do we get, and we still do get minute matches on Raw between the Divas, but at least they actually have a purpose now. You know what I mean? With the Bella Twins, I know they had the Funkadactyl split going for a while. They dropped that.
No one cared really about that.
Yeah, they dropped that for no reason.
Thank
God. So, like you said, because no one really cared. But they also have that good feud over the Divas
Paige
as well,
and AJ,
between AJ Lee and Paige. So they got a few good things going for the Divas. But, you know, well, before we get into Monday Night Raw, and no one ever thought we'd probably talk about this first, Total Divas. This is Season 2, baby, of WrestleRant Radio.
Yep.
But Season 3 premiered of Total Divas this past Sunday on the E! Network. So what were your thoughts on the season premiere?
I thought the season premiere was pretty good, and the preview for the whole season looks like it's going to be a good one.
Oh, I have to watch every episode, man. It looks good.
Absolutely. Well, now they also have Season 1, not the entire, they're slowly
I know, I've been watching it. I've been watching
on the WWE Network for
$9.99. Gotta put a little plug in there.
So, Jeff, I got to ask you something real quick.
Yep.
We don't often hear from you. You are the silent but deadly one here on WrestleRant Radio.
That's obvious, yeah.
And obviously, anyone that's been listening here to WrestleRant Radio for a substantial period of time knows that you first got into wrestling via RJ and being roommates last semester.
He definitely brought me to that next level, surely.
From
But
that casual fan
middle
to
school,
hardcore
I
fan.
obviously indulged a little bit, got to know the realm a little bit. But when I roomed with RJ, took it up a step.
Hardcore level.
New
baby.
level. Every Monday, I'm Raw, baby. Every event, I'm WrestleMania. I'm all the way, man.
So, with that being said, though, with RJ not by your side for the last couple of months since we left campus, have you
I
been
gotta
watching
tell you,
Monday
dude,
Night
it
Raw?
has been sloppy. I've been sloppy, man.
You've been sloppy?
Maybe
You haven't been tuning into Raw?
I've caught 3 Raws.
Okay.
Nothing substantial. I did
Missing good
catch
stuff.
a Lesnar match though, and
Lesnar hasn't wrestled on Raw, though.
he hasn't. All right, then it wasn't. You know, I was watching a.
On the network or something?
No. I don't have. I wish I had the network.
You can just use RJ's account. It's like Netflix.
No, it was There was on Raw. It was a John Cena match. I think.
Okay.
And they were talking about SummerSlam.
Yes.
That was it. And I just watched John Cena get rocked on SummerSlam.
On that note, RJ, in addition to being a fan of the Bella Twins,
Big fan of
it's
Brock
been
Lesnar.
it's been a big summer for you, RJ.
has been.
We've got the Bella Twins splitting up.
Seth Rollins
as well, Mr. Money in the Bank, the show that you went to, sir, the
Yep.
next WWE World Heavyweight Champion, but Brock Lesnar is the
Exactly.
new
The
WWE
beast
World
incarnate
Heavyweight
himself.
Champion. So I want to get your thoughts on the feud with John Cena,
Yep.
winning the title, everything that has to do with the beast incarnate. Your thoughts?
I think it's great that obviously he came and won. He should have won anyways. He beat the streak. That's self-explained. And then
Yes.
I like the way how they had him squash John Cena, which hasn't been seen in plenty of years.
Ever, yeah.
Exactly, since he just came in the WWE. But
Yep.
it shows how Lesnar's the beast, the monster. I don't really get how they're going to book the Night of Champions match, kind of, because if he kicked his ass once, why couldn't he kick it again?
Exactly.
But maybe they'll have Cena look a little bit stronger than he did before. But I don't know. It looks like the reign of Lesnar will run on for a while.
It can't end.
After that thing with Heyman last night, John Cena's coming for Lesnar, dude.
John Cena
That
is coming for
that
Brock
15-minute
Lesnar.
plug with John Cena and
Paul Heyman last night? That was a great segment, I thought.
I thought it was a little long, but you definitely can't see me.
There we
Definitely
go.
can't see me.
That being said, though, it's a question we've been talking about the last couple of weeks since SummerSlam. But Brock Lesnar, you obviously don't feel he should lose the title at Night of Champions, obviously.
No.
So, what are your thoughts on Brock Lesnar being champion? When do you think, and who do you think should be the one to take the title off of the Beast Incarnate?
He shouldn't lose to WrestleMania. I think everyone's on that one. He shouldn't lose to WrestleMania. I don't want to say Roman Reigns, but he's the only one that makes sense because I hate how they're booking him right now.
We were talking about this a couple of weeks ago in that Daniel Bryan, although you are a very big Daniel Bryan fan, as am I, it just doesn't really make sense from like a logistical standpoint, you know what I mean, from a realistic standpoint, and that if you could defeat The Undertaker and John Cena, squash all these superstars, the Big Show, Daniel Bryan I don't think makes sense. Maybe in like a David versus Goliath, I don't know. So Daniel Bryan's kind of off the table.
Rey Mysterio?
Rey Mysterio,
I just do Rey Mysterio all the time.
Am I the only one who does not want to see Big Show versus Brock Lesnar again for the title, or
No.
do you want to see that again?
How about Dolph?
Dolph Ziggler.
How about
would be
Dolph?
an interesting
Not
case.
Lesnar.
It's something fresh,
It's
but
like
it's
fresh or never.
you would get destroyed.
It would
though.
be awful.
I would buy that matchup for $9.99 on the network for the selling alone of Dolph Ziggler.
All right.
Though. He would sell that
He would.
beating.
I have
like,
to say this right now, just because I love the man. Stardust could beat
Stardust.
Lesnar. I love Stardust. I
hate
love Stardust. I love Stardust.
It's funny that you mentioned that.
I hate him.
When Stardust first debuted, I was very down on the idea. I think you know, RJ. You probably know my thoughts on this. I dislike Stardust with a very strong passion. I love Cody Rhodes.
You told me that last night, and I go, I can't believe you hate Stardust.
I hate Stardust. I like him better as a heel.
I like him as Cody Rhodes. I don't like him as Stardust.
And I don't get the argument that people make that he wasn't over as Cody Rhodes.
He was easily over as Cody Rhodes.
Go back to Money in the Bank last year.
Exactly.
People were chanting the hell out of Cody Rhodes' name.
And Damian Sandow now is a stunt double.
Yeah, he's an absolute joke, yeah. But what were we talking about here? Brock Lesnar. Any definitive answer as to who do you think should beat him?
I feel like it's going to be Reigns, but...
And not at WrestleMania, you think?
I think it's going to be at WrestleMania.
WrestleMania? That makes the most sense.
And then Rollins cashing in.
That's what we were saying. Do you think they would have Rollins cash in on the biggest stage of the year and go off with Seth Rollins winning the championship?
Hopefully.
You think so? I think Rollins is going to be champion. I don't think he's going to not cash in.
No, he's going to cash in, I feel like.
Yeah, it's Rollins.
I feel like if anything, like he'll beat Lesnar, Triple H will be pissed, and then come out, and then Rollins will come out.
Yeah, I guess I could see that.
Yeah, I like the evolutions of Mr. Dude, but...
Someone was predicting a couple of weeks ago in that, I don't know if you do it right away, but down the line, I think Seth Rollins, who do you think has more potential to be a bigger babyface, in the long scheme of things, Seth Rollins or Roman Reigns? Because we were talking about long before the Shield split, obviously, because when we last did the show, they were still together, that Seth Rollins could go as a heel or a babyface. And we were saying Ambrose is going to be
he went over as the heel, too.
Absolutely. And I think Ambrose has been great.
I love Ambrose.
Dean Ambrose is amazing.
I love Ambrose.
Thank you.
And he's currently off TV filming the new movie Lockdown from WWE
Seth Rollins
Studios.
put him out.
Yeah, Seth Rollins put him out. If we're talking kayfabe here. So, with that being said, though, do you think they could do a double turn down the line with Rollins and Roman Reigns, with Rollins being the babyface and Reigns being the heel?
The thing is, I feel like as they're going right now with Reigns, they keep pushing him as like the super face. I feel like the people are going to get sick of him like they get with Cena.
Eventually,
people are already saying how they already think that they're building Reigns to be like Cena. And him as a face, I feel like people can get over him really quick.
Yeah.
I feel like Rollins would be kind of like a CM Punk or Daniel Bryan as a face and heel the same way.
I see him more of like a Jeff Hardy kind of guy. Like the offense, in terms of like offense and stuff like that.
Last night when he jumped off the cage, I was like, geez.
That was crazy.
He almost got impaled.
Yeah, and Jericho, he almost got impaled. Yeah, that was like, holy crap. There was like a gif of that online.
Yeah,
I saw
that too.
It's like, oh my god, that almost killed him. But yeah, so that's basically the last couple of months in WWE in a nutshell. We talked about Total Divas. So, Monday Night Raw last night, live from, I think, Baltimore, Maryland. I thought it was a significant improvement over the last couple of weeks.
Yep.
The last two episodes
have been very recycled episodes.
Absolutely. I thought the night after SummerSlam was good, but the Labor Day edition and the week before that I thought were not good at all. But we are on a set path towards the Night of Champions. Just announced only about an hour ago, from what I read, Jericho versus Randy Orton and Rollins versus Roman Reigns at the Night of Champions pay-per-view. So what are your thoughts on that?
I like that, but where's it put Bray Wyatt now? Now he's like...
Yeah, what happens to Bray Wyatt? What are your thoughts on Bray Wyatt? What were your thoughts when Bray Wyatt was, I don't want to say buried.
Buried. He was buried.
He is buried, officially.
They've been getting buried the last couple of weeks by Big Show, Mark Henry, and John Cena.
Definitely more so Harper and Rowan. Bray Wyatt has also been in the equation. Big Show wasn't even on Raw last night, so I have absolutely no...
And now Mark Henry's with Rusev again.
So why do the tag team? Yeah, it makes no sense.
Exactly.
But, yeah, that whole thing, the whole Harper and Rowan thing, I thought they had a great set of matches with the Usos over the tag team titles. Awesome matches, and now we're getting
Battleground. They had the 2 out of 3 falls.
The show that you were at. What were your thoughts in the exact?
That was a good match. I think the 2 out of 3 falls were at Battleground, right?
That was a great match.
That was a great match.
Yeah, it was
their
a
match
fantastic
at
match.
Money in the Bank was really good too.
Yeah, I put that in top 5 best matches of the year. That tag team match at Battleground.
That was really good.
But absolutely,
Seth Rollins versus Dean Ambrose at SummerSlam was probably the best match of the night too.
Yeah, absolutely. From a wrestling standpoint, I mean, I know some people might argue like Lesnar and Cena. That was shock factor better.
Yeah.
But in terms of Ambrose and Rollins, I thought that was a great wrestling matchup. So, speaking of such, do you see when Dean Ambrose makes his return, he's being advertised, not for the Night of Champions pay-per-view as of right now, but he is being advertised for the next night's Raw. So, that being said, do you see him resuming his feud with Seth Rollins when he comes back, or do you see it being kind of a Triple H, Shawn Michaels-like feud where they can continue this over the next couple of years, like on and off?
Yeah, but what's the point of having him fight Roman Reigns and Night of Champions if he's going to go back with this feud with
Yeah, that's a
Ambrose?
good point, yeah. So what do you see Ambrose doing when he comes back? A feud with Kane or Orton, maybe?
Maybe Kane or Orton.
Yeah, I think Orton and Ambrose can have a lot of great matches.
I think you might do one with Kane.
Yeah, because it cost him that matchup a couple weeks ago.
Who? Kane?
Kane, yeah.
And it'd be like he's the one that like masterminded the concrete blocks.
Yeah, exactly.
They could do him versus Dean Ambrose Hell in a Cell. I doubt they'd do that in the Hell in a Cell, but
Kane and Ambrose or Ambrose and Rollins?
Kane and Ambrose.
Kane and Ambrose.
Maybe Rollins and Reigns in a Hell in a Cell.
That could be a very good Hell in a Cell match. Yeah, I don't know what else you could do in Hell in a Cell aside from. I know some people were saying Cena and Lesnar, but I don't know if you could drag that another month. But what were your thoughts last night on the segment, which I thought was one of the highlights of the show, between Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar? I thought the segment's good. I think anything with Paul Heyman's pretty good. Absolutely. Yeah.
He can talk for hours, and I'd listen. And I feel like he gets under people's skin enough that he's a good enough heel that he can make a segment so entertaining. And then Cena came out and was like, "I'm not going to do it." But
I'm not going to turn heel.
Yeah, and then eventually he did what he's going to do. But I feel like that segment was one of the better parts of the show.
Yeah. This feud, I think, has been better as a whole than most stuff that we've been accustomed to seeing in WWE for the last couple of months. And that Brock Lesnar, I think, is... And I don't think there's any double standards of it. I've seen a lot of people say that, and that a lot of people didn't want to see Rock as champion, that he wasn't making enough appearances on Raw, which he wasn't. But the difference, I think, between Rock and Brock, and that Rock could have showed up. I don't know if Brock, can. It's a different contract.
Brock could show up. They said that he's re-signing.
Yeah, I heard that a couple days ago. And that they're contracting him for more dates, and him being champion, they can pull him in for more Raws and stuff like that. But even when he's not there, I think the video packages that he's in. And we were talking about this before, stuff that we watched in the network recently. I thought the hour-long thing they did on Lesnar and Cena a couple weeks ago, right before SummerSlam, I thought that was great. Yep. And all the video package they've been doing between Lesnar and Heyman, and Cena for that matter, have been excellent. Because that's where Lesnar shines. He's not the best mic guy, but you put him in that environment. Yep. Absolutely, I think it's great.
What do you say? Back on the Rollins and Reigns thing, they can have the Match Night Champions, do a Hell in a Cell, Triple H maybe screw him at Hell in a Cell, and then have Team Triple H versus Team Reigns at Survivor Series, and then Triple H versus Reigns at TLC.
That could work.
Then Reigns goes over to TLC, wins the Royal Rumble, then it gets his...
There you go. You just
booked WWE, so thank you guys.
Hashtag book it.
Hashtag book it, WWE. I just gave you your next couple months.
Yeah, he just booked out the entire next several months into the road to WrestleMania. But yeah, pretty much I agree with that as well. I don't see what else you can really do. I know we have Night of Champions and then Hell in a Cell. I know last year we had Battleground in between, but we don't have any pay-per-view in between this year, which is probably for the better.
I don't like Hell in a Cell. It's a dumb pay-per-view. I like the specialty ones.
Because it kind of ruins the meaning of the
where
matchup.
Elimination Chamber is, no one ever loses, so it's stupid.
Yeah, exactly. I think the Elimination Chamber in the last... I don't think the title has changed hands in the Elimination Chamber. If you look back historically, since 2010 or something. When
Triple H, Shawn Michaels screwed the Undertaker was the last time.
Yep, when Jericho won that title. Yeah,
also, speaking on that, when I texted you the other week, when I was watching Survivor Series, how Bischoff was saying, the last one to survive, they should have an Elimination Chamber match at Survivor Series. And have, the traditional tag match, too.
Yes. The 02 Survivor Series.
Yeah, that's a great show, too.
Yeah. I want to go
watch it on the WWE Network for $9.99.
Yeah, exactly. And briefly, back in the Rollins-Reigns thing real quick, because I know we were talking about this recently, and you brought this up even in the most recent #SXM video, in that Rollins should be more aggressive. So you want to elaborate on that a little bit?
Pretty much, just not be as coward as heel as Randy Orton has been last couple of months, and not make Reigns look as strong as they've made him look, obviously.
And I think last night was an improvement over that, too.
It is, but I feel like he hasn't, lost a match in so long.
Roman Reigns?
Yes. He won't lose clean either.
No, he's not going to lose clean now. I don't think he's lost a singles match clean yet. I know tag team matches he has, but not...
I said, the building on Cena, it's annoying.
Yeah. And I'm not going to complain about that to the point that, because we have Roman Reigns, I'd take Roman Reigns any day of the week over John Cena, because at least it's something new.
Yep.
But I think they could book him a little bit better. So at least he's not... I could definitely see where they're going, because they want to build him up to be a threat to Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania to win that championship. I get that. And hopefully he is ready by the time WrestleMania comes around, and I think he will be. But
I hope so. It's 6 months away.
Yeah, exactly. Like you said, there's really no one else they can insert into that equation that makes the most sense.
Rock would be the only one.
Rock, exactly.
I don't think
even for the championship in the main event of WrestleMania.
Because who would you want to win that? You don't want Rock to win again.
Exactly, because what is he going to do? Leave again with the championship? I mean, you can't do the same thing with Brock, because Rock isn't... I don't know. It's a completely different scenario, so I don't see that happening. But it's going to be interesting where they go with that in coming weeks, though. But other things from Raw last night, another thing I want to talk about with you, being a Bray Wyatt fan, Bray Wyatt and Chris Jericho, a lot of mixed feelings on this feud over the last couple of months. I was at the Raw where they kicked this feud off. I thought it had the best kickoff in quite some time. But the aftermath has left something to be desired.
Their matches were pretty...
Yes.
Blah.
And last night's match I thought was very good, though. I thought it was the best one yet. But I want to get your thoughts on the feud, though.
I feel like the feud was pretty good, but their matches sucked.
Yeah.
Their promos are good. His promos are good, but I feel like his matches have not been that good for Bray Wyatt.
Even some of the promos, I think, have not been as great as some people have thought they would be. They've been good, like if you compare it to any other promo that people have had in the last couple of months, But I think just the expectations that people have set, myself included, for this feud were so high that there was no possible way that they were going to meet them. Their Battleground match was not good. Their SummerSlam match was better. And that match last night I thought was great and the best way to kick off Raw because they were going head-to-head with football and whatever, so... It was the best possible way to, try to rival the competition. So.
I thought they had a good match overall, but the ending.
The ending was
horrendous.
Last night?
When they're trying to get out of the cell.
And he kind of fell out.
And they kind of just sat there for
it was a little
5 minutes.
Yeah.
It was awful.
I will say that it was better than the Extreme Rules match that we ranted about many months ago with John Cena. I will say that it's better than that.
What Extreme Rules match?
Remember the match with Cena and Wyatt?
Don't even bring it up.
Exactly.
Oh my god.
So it was better than that
match. The thing is with Bray Wyatt, now what did they do with him? There's no other face he could contend with.
Yeah, because remember a couple months ago, after the Cena and Wyatt thing, we were talking about who's next. And we didn't say Jericho, obviously.
Because we didn't think he'd be back.
Yeah, exactly. We didn't think he'd be back. So what you do with him now, I don't know. We were saying before the show, or maybe even during the show, what you do with him at Night of Champions. I don't know.
There's no face to compete with, I feel like.
Rusev is doing
Mark
Henry right now.
He's a heel anyway. So.
Yeah. Well, no, I meant Mark Henry's with Rusev. Big Show is the only guy that comes to mind. Exactly my thoughts.
Like maybe to a point because he's been feuding with Harper and Rowan, but
that makes sense. I didn't even think about that. But
I feel like they booked Bray Wyatt so bad the last couple months. I feel like he can't win a match without them interfering.
Yeah,
and that kind of makes him like, in a way, kind of like comparison when Triple H used to be a champion, but obviously it's Triple H. Like back when Evolution was on, he never won a match clean.
Yeah,
Ric Flair would always help him, Orton and Batista, but obviously it's different when it's Triple H.
Yeah, he was already a solidified star.
Exactly. It's not like they're like he was just like cheap like little wins. Like Bray Wyatt, every steel cage match, someone's about to beat him, then like they're standing there about to catch him.
Yeah, exactly.
It's kind of stupid, but
yeah, they're having Harper and Rowan interfere in every single one of his matches, regardless of what it is, tag team, singles, steel cage, whatever. So hopefully they can rectify the course with Bray Wyatt. He has a lot of potential. They just need to find a feud with him because they've done a lot of stuff with him in the last year alone.
They rushed ruin his.
Because they rushed him into that spot with John Cena at WrestleMania. I thought that was too soon.
He should have won.
Feud. He should have won easily, absolutely. Because I think in the end that feud really didn't serve a purpose.
Yep.
Because he went over. John Cena went over at Payback.
Exactly.
It was a great match. Or we were talking about this. We weren't here, and how John Cena stood on Bray Wyatt on whatever what was it?
Threw something on him.
Yeah, it was like from the production thing or whatever at ringside. But that was a really weird feud too. But any other current events you want to discuss from Monday Night Raw last night? I'm trying to think what else happened last night.
The NXT match was good.
NXT.
Even though they only really spotlight Adrian Neville, which I didn't like at all.
Yeah.
Obviously, they're going to spotlight him because he's probably going to be the next guy coming up.
Because he has the finisher and he's a current champion too.
Yeah, but the thing is, you bring him up, what the hell is he going to do? Nothing.
Yeah, we've talked about this before, and that I think his size really limits him. And
he's not a Rey Mysterio here.
Exactly, and I think the difference with Sami Zayn, it's a little different in that he's already over. He's already got the Olay chance and stuff like that. People know who he is. He can talk.
Yep.
Adrian Neville can talk, but he's got that weird accent.
Yep.
And it's not his fault, but it really limits him what he can do. He's like a spectacle to watch in the ring, which is why I'm not surprised why they spotlighted him so much in that matchup because of his finisher and whatever, the Red Arrow. But that being said, though, I think Sami Zayn should be the next one of those three because I don't really count Tyson Kidd. I think he's been great on NXT.
Yeah, but he belongs in NXT.
He does. On the main roster, I think they really ruined any like he came back last year and they never really did anything.
Yeah, him and Justin Gabriel just belong in NXT at this point.
Yeah, because they
have nothing else for them on the main roster right now. So.
They're trying to capitalize off him looking like a complete douche on Total Divas, which is probably for the best because they can capitalize off that. And same thing with Justin Gabriel too because he did that I think early season 1 or something in that thing with JoJo. But I think NXT we should absolutely talk about. This upcoming Thursday, NXT TakeOver 2, I think has a lot of potential.
I'm trying to think of everyone who's on it.
The current card, I think there's 5 matches.
I hate the tag team match.
The tag team title match?
It should have been Enzo Amore and Colin Cassidy against.
They're a much more over team than Sin Cara and Kalisto. They've been together
They're just
longer.
there because they're Mexican.
Yeah.
They have no other Mexican stars right now in WWE, so they need to get someone.
Kalisto is great. Sin Cara is damaged goods. There's nothing that you could do with Sin Cara. No. They tried to put Hunico under the mask, and that's not working. People do not care about Sin Cara.
Exactly.
They don't care who's under the mask. They just do not care.
Even if Rey Mysterio was under the mask, people wouldn't care.
Yeah, they would not
care.
Day
and age,
and we'll get to that in a second. There's actually some news regarding that from a couple of months ago that I want to get your thoughts on. But NXT TakeOver on Thursday, TakeOver 2, I should say. I'm going to get your prediction for the show. Kicking off the show, Bull Dempsey versus Mojo Rawley. Your thoughts on the feud? Who you think will win?
The feud's what it is. I don't know. I care less.
It's nothing all that exciting yet.
I feel like Mojo Rawley sucks. I hate his character too. So I'm going to go Bull Dempsey. Bull. I love Bull Dempsey.
Yeah.
Like a ponytail and a big
He
black
comes off,
singlet.
he comes off like a Taz to me for some reason. I don't know why, but he does.
I hate Mojo Rawley.
What, you don't want to get hyped?
No,
you don't want to get hyped? No?
Stupid. He wrestled some local wrestler and beats him in 2 seconds.
Yeah. He's very limited
Their
in what he
feud was
can
kind
do.
of bad, too, like how they lost and then he just turned on him. But
Yeah, that was really weird. They really did the tag. It's not like they even built up their alliance before he turned on him, so it really didn't pack a punch at all because you saw it coming from a mile away.
Once
It
they
was
lost,
so
I knew he was
stupid.
going to turn on him.
Yeah, it was so dumb. But that match on Thursday, who do you think will win?
Bull Dempsey.
Bull Dempsey. They obviously have bigger plans for him.
Yes.
In a recent promo, they had him say that he's going right after the NXT title, so that obviously goes to show they will not have him lose on the show. And if they do, it's for what? For Mojo Rawley? I mean, he's already lost, like, how many matches? Like, that match against Tyler Breeze a couple weeks ago, he lost in, like, a minute. Not even, like, 10 seconds or something, right? So,
Who else is
obviously...
there?
There's that match. I've got Bull Dempsey going over 2. We've also got Enzo Amore versus Sylvester Lefort in a hair match. Whoever loses gets their head shaved. Your thoughts?
Enzo better win.
Enzo better win? Is
love
that who
him
you
and
think will
Cassidy.
win?
Yeah, I think he'll win too. I like them way better than whatever the stupid people they're wrestling.
Lefort and Marcus Louis. Yeah, they're a weird tag team.
I love Enzo Amore and
Colin Cassidy. I think they're a great tag team.
Yeah.
I like Enzo on his own. Not so much Colin Cassidy. I think Enzo was lacking without him. But when they came back, I think they have a great chemistry together that can really click on the main roster because they're already over as it is in NXT.
Yep.
They're great baby
like the
faces.
big guy with the small guy.
Yeah, exactly. I think they can be... Enzo on his own, I don't know if it has a lot of potential in the main
he's too
roster.
small.
He's going to be like the next Santino if he is. But if they keep him together as a tag team, and Colin Cassidy, he's got the size.
He just have the, like I feel like he has the size, just has like the ring.
Yeah, exactly.
Awareness, yeah.
Exactly. He's still improving. He's still a little bit bland. But you put the two together, they're great. Like they had that backstage segment last week in the show. Like I don't know where they were. They were at the haircut place or something or whatever. I thought that was golden.
Yep, they're really good together. I like them.
They're really.
They're
fun,
probably my two of my top favorites on NXT right now.
Yeah. I don't know if. So that being said, do you think the Ascension will go over? Oh, actually, we'll talk about the hair match real quick. Who do you think goes over in that one?
Enzo.
I've got Enzo as well. I don't think they'll have him shave his head for Lafort or whatever.
Yeah.
He's a job guy. But I've got Enzo there. Let's talk about the tag team title match. We basically kind of already talked about it. But the Ascension has been champions. As of Thursday, I think they won the titles at the September 12th tapings last year. So it's 365 days if they retain on Thursday.
Yeah.
So, that being said, do you think they'll have the Ascension retain and then have Enzo and Colin go after them? Or do you think that Sin Cara and Kalisto win the belts on Thursday?
I hope they don't win, but I have a gut feeling they're going to win.
I think they will win. I don't know if they'll hold out until Enzo and Colin. Because if they were, they might not have them just win the tournament.
Exactly.
It didn't make any sense. Because the whole feud between Enzo and Lafort and those two tag teams really came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And no one cares about Lafort and Louis.
Exactly.
Louis is so bland.
So is the other two guys. I'm trying to think their names. Aiden
The
English.
Bald Villains?
Oh my god!
You don't like
I
that
hate
gimmick?
them.
I like that gimmick. I don't love it, but I like it
hate
better
it.
than Louise and Lafort.
I hate it as much as I hate as Adam Rose and the stupid.
Oh, and the Rosebud.
I love Adam Rose now, by the way.
Yeah, let's go off a tangent real quick. Your thoughts on Bo Dallas and Adam Rose? Are
I
you a
love
believer?
Bo Dallas.
Bo
I
Dallas,
hate-
boo.
I hate
Adam Rose, yes. Are we backwards on this?
I guess I hate Adam
We live
Rose.
together. and
You've
we
grown in.
go
You've
backwards.
grown on Bo Dallas, though.
I like Bo Dallas.
You like Bo Dallas? We'll get to him in just in a little bit. But for the tag team title match, you think
Kalisto and Sin Cara
will
will
go?
win.
Yep. I got them as well, new tag team champions. If there's any time they're going to do it, it's going to be on the show.
Charlotte wrestling.
Yes, we'll get to that. Right
Bayley.
now. Women's Championship
Bayley.
online. Charlotte versus Bayley. And aside from the main event, I think this is going to be one of the most anticipated matches on the show. Because for anyone that's been watching NXT for a long time,
The
knows
girls can wrestle.
they can wrestle. And these two are former friends on the show.
Yep.
It was Charlotte who turned heel in the first place by attacking Bayley. And they haven't really played that up at all, I think. But the storyline is there. Bayley, I think, is great. Charlotte has been quickly improving. We left campus shortly before TakeOver #1. But what were your thoughts on Natalya Charlotte and that match for the NXT Women's title? I thought that was a great
It was
match.
a good match. Yeah.
Yeah, that whole show I thought was very entertaining. But that being said, though, who do you think will go over in the women's title match?
I feel like Charlotte will go over because she hasn't had the title for that long.
Yeah,
she's
it's
still
too
improving a lot.
soon.
I feel like she has the title because of her name right now.
Yeah.
But she's obviously not one of the. She's not one of the better wrestlers on NXT for the girls. I think Sasha Banks is better than she is.
Yeah,
Baylor's
Sasha
better
Banks
than
is
she
good.
is.
Yeah.
Emma's better than she is. So.
Yeah. I think it's definitely too soon to take the title off of Charlotte. And I've seen some people say that they'll have Bayley win here, which I think is premature. And I think that if they build it up long enough, like Daniel Bryan, when he finally won the title, I mean, between NXT Women's title and the WWE title, two different things. But if they have her, the chase. The chase is what it's all about. So the longer they wait to give her the title, the more it's going to mean when it happens. So that being said, though, I think if they have Charlotte retain here, build to a rematch on an episode of NXT or the next special, whenever it is, January, February, whatever. But Charlotte, I've seen some people say that Charlotte loses the belt here and then goes to the main roster. I don't think she's main roster ready before Bayley or even Banks for that reason, or for that matter. I think Banks
is ready. Just their name.
What?
Just their name right now.
Yeah, I think if they put her on the main roster, they're just going to put her with Ric Flair. Because I think they really want to get Ric Flair in a regular role on TV so badly, they're desperate to put her and him together, So they'll probably do that. I hope that's not the case, and I hope Charlotte goes over here because she's only held the title for a couple months. But you've got Charlotte here. Yeah, Charlotte here as well. And then we get to the main event for the Fatal 4-Way NXT Championship matchup. We've got Adrian Neville defending the gold against Tyson Kidd, Tyler Breeze, and Sami Zayn. What are your thoughts?
I think it's going to be a really good match. I feel like they all have really good chemistry together, and it should be a lot of pops and a lot of good spots throughout the match.
All the recent tag team matches, including the one last night on Raw, I thought was very, very good. The way they've actually dragged this out over the last couple of months has been very impressive, in that they had the whole Tyson Kidd, Adrian Neville matchup at TakeOver 1, and that was 4 months ago. So the fact they've kept all four of these guys in the title picture, relevant exactly, for the last couple of months is absolutely amazing to me. And it's something that's so simple that WWE fails to do in so many occasions. But that being said, though, why NXT is a better reason to watch than Raw or SmackDown more often than not, in my opinion anyway. But Fatal 4-Way contest, who do you think comes out on top as the new NXT champion? Or the NXT champion?
It's not going to be Tyson Kidd. I don't know. I have a feeling Tyler Breeze is going to win.
Tyler Breeze, really?
They have had the face there for a while with Adrian Neville. He's going to go up to...
He's been champion for about 6-7 months, I think.
Exactly. So he'll go up to the main roster and be a dud, and then have Tyler Breeze win it. I don't know. I feel like Sami Zayn can win, but Tyler Breeze did have the number one contendership and then kind of got screwed out of it. So
yeah. I'm thinking Sami Zayn is also main roster due, but before he gets promoted, I want to see him win the NXT title. Yeah, and I don't think he can win the title on the show, but I really want to see Zayn versus Neville at some point, but that's just not really a feud that you can do.
Yeah.
So I think if you like you just said, give the belt to Breeze and then give it to Zayn, I think that makes the most sense. Maybe at the next special, whenever it is. So you've got Breeze here.
Yep.
Breeze still the NXT. Oh, I'm sorry. Breeze is the new champion. Yep. Yes. I don't know. It's either between definitely not Tyson Kidd, as you said before. He's been great though. I think his whole heel shtick has been really entertaining. I don't know. I'm stuck between Zayn and Breeze here. I think Neville's promoted to the main roster right after this. You know what? I'll go with Sami Zayn just for the hell of it. I think Sami Zayn might win the belt. Either or, we'll get a new NXT champion, at least based off our predictions. So, overall, what are your expectations for the show on Thursday?
The show will be really
WWE
good.
Network? Really good?
It'll be really good.
If NXT has been any indication over the last couple
all
of months,
their specials have been really good. So
Arrival, Takeover.
Yep.
Takeover 2. The card has potential. It's a 2-hour event starting Thursday night. I think at 8 o'clock, I want to say, or 7. I think it's 8.
I think it's 8.
Yeah, 8 o'clock Eastern Time on the WWE Network for $9.99. So, that being said, we talked Raw, we talked the WWE NXT.
Yep.
Talked about the NXT, we talked about the WWE Network a little bit. Let's get into that a little bit. Over the last couple of months, what have you been watching on the network?
I've been watching old Survivor Series, which is my favorite pay-per-view, so...
Oh, really? Okay.
A lot of Survivor Series. Monday Night War just started, so I've been watching that a lot. Countdown.
Yeah, Countdown's been on there since day one, yeah.
Throughout the summer, I watched a lot of Goldberg matches on.
Really?
From WCW. So besides
they came out with the DVD on him a couple of years ago, but it didn't have an autobiography, did it? Do you know? I think it was just matches because I know he's not on. He was never officiated with the DVD. Yep. They just did it without his consent, I guess. But nevertheless, and there were some people complaining. I know Goldberg took offense to this on his Twitter in that he wasn't featured in the Monday Night War show, but. For some reason, I don't know why people thought it was over. After 3 episodes, it's a continuous series, like Legends House. That they're going to do a lot of episodes out of it.
Because I feel like they keep reiterating on stuff that they've already said in some of the few episodes.
Yeah. There's only so much you can talk about.
Yeah, but I feel like they should focus on more than one thing at a time instead of keep jumping in different stuff. They've talked about DX in every episode. I feel like.
Yeah, pretty much. They just emphasize it in one episode, and then they talk about it briefly in other episodes. Yeah. And I think today, when they released it, was Mankind winning the title. Yeah. And the thumbnail that I saw was Kevin Nash cutting a promo on the WCW side. I don't know what that has to do with anything or what goes on there, but the NWO one,
they really screwed that company up, so.
What? Kevin Nash? They did.
Kevin Nash.
Absolutely. Yeah, from inside and out. Like,
they really just screwed it up.
Yeah, that's why WCW is now where it is. But, that being said, Monday Night War show I think is great. I think it's probably better than Legends House in your opinion?
Yeah.
I think so.
I have more interest in it than I have Legends House.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff on that.
Obviously, it's stuff that I've wanted to see, but I wasn't obviously old enough at the time to see it. So.
Yeah, exactly. And they've also got the new Nitros on there as well. Monday Night War show has been great. The Shield documentary, your thoughts? Amazing.
I feel like they all taught like true feelings too. Like Seth Rollins is like, I'm the man.
Yeah.
And he is the man. So.
Yeah, they didn't hold that back. And they showed all the indie footage as well, which I was really impressed with.
Him against Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, I thought they would just talk about like the Shield getting started. They talked about like their backgrounds and crap.
Against Sami Zayn, I think they showed him too.
They did as El Generico. They did. That was exactly. So that was a great documentary as well. Other things in the network in the last couple of months besides the pay-per-views, no real original shows, I don't think. Like you said, we've got Countdown coming back. That's about it, I think.
Yeah.
But they've got a couple new shows coming up in the next couple of months. Tough Enough, I heard, was canceled, which kind of sucks because I was looking forward to that coming back due to budget cuts.
Was Andy Adam Levine or what's his name?
Adam Levine, yeah, the guy that won the first.
The other guy should have won. I don't know
Luke Robinson. Luke Robinson was the man. But anyway, I don't want to go on another rant about that. Anyway. We'll talk a little about TNA. What are your thoughts on TNA? Do you think they've improved? Do you think they're going under? Your thoughts. This is only a month removed from when Bully Ray was almost...
Well, what are you pointing at me for?
You need to get a rant.
I don't need a rant at all. I can care less about TNA, really.
Bully Ray is reportedly gone from TNA.
I like the only thing that I like that I've seen recently is that Jeff Hardy's Jeff Hardy again. Besides that, I could care less.
He's not Willow. Yeah, exactly.
What happened to Willow?
Willow is gone.
Oh, that's bad.
I could care less about Eric Young and what's-his-face, Bobby Roode.
Mm-hmm. I love Bobby Roode.
James Storm's with the Japanese guy now. I care less about him.
Yeah.
EC3 sucks. Rhino sucks. It's just all these old guys that I could care less about.
There's a lineup because they're going to Bound for Glory, obviously. They're going to Japan for Bound for Glory.
That's going to be a dud.
They have a full lineup of all the people that are going to be there. And there's no star power at all. And I'm a guy that likes some of the people that are there. I like Bobby Roode. I like James Storm.
I feel like if anyone would come to WWE, I feel like I wouldn't mind a Bobby Roode dude.
Yeah, he's a WWE guy. Yeah. But on the lineup, you look at the star power, there's Bobby Roode. EC3's at the top of that card. Bully Ray's not on there. Kurt Angle's not on there. Jeff Hardy might not even be on the show because of his legal issues with the drugs and whatever from a couple of years ago. He can't appear overseas, I guess. That's why he never does the England tours. But so that show is not going to have any star power whatsoever. Samoa Joe, he's on that.
He's really old now.
Yeah.
His ass getting really tired.
He missed his boat with WWE years ago. There's no chance of him going over there now. He's this shell of his former self, but I still very much enjoy Samoa Joe. He's just not the same Samoa Joe.
EC3, they're pushing him way too hard.
Yeah, I think he's like the only shining star they have right now in terms of a young shining. But no, I mean
another WWE washout.
In terms of like a young guy that they're trying to push. They have no one else. They have, what? Who else do they have on that show they're trying to push? They brought back Low-Key, Homicide. They're not going to be the next one.
I love Homicide.
Homicide?
I miss Hernandez.
Yeah, LAX was great. I really enjoyed LAX. Low-Key. Oh, yeah, you were the one that tweeted me not too long ago that they really missed the boat with Caval. Yes.
He was never going to pan out anyways.
He was not going to pan out, but I thought
no one's going to be like Rey Mysterio, so they got to get rid of it.
Yeah, exactly. So let's speak a little about Rey Mysterio.
I love Rey Mysterio.
Rey Mysterio and Alberto Del Rio.
Del Rio I love, actually.
He got fired.
He did?
Yeah.
And you didn't...
Pink cat.
Pink cat, true. I'm a pink cat. All right.
I want to talk a little about this. Rey Mysterio first. His status in WWE is a bit in question right now, in that I think he didn't want to re-sign or something like that, but because he's missed so much time due to injury and whatnot, that he has to make it up somehow.
Yep.
So, that being said, he now has to sign another deal, but how can he make up that said time that he has to make up if he's not even on TV anyway? There's a feeling backstage from what I've heard that I guess he's not going to be back on TV at all, but he wants to go to AAA, the Mexican promotion, so there's a lot of confusion right now. What are your thoughts on Rey Mysterio, the whole controversy, and how do you think, if he was to have one more match, how would you close out the career of Rey Mysterio?
I don't know. I've loved Rey Mysterio ever since I started watching wrestling. He came around. probably right when I started watching. I think late 2002, early 03 with the old vignettes of his mask and stuff like that.
Yeah, when he first started
his
up,
old
02,
WCW career. So he was always as a kid, my first favorite wrestler was Rey Mysterio.
Oh,
I
you
love
started
Rey Mysterio.
watching in 02,
yeah.
right? Yeah, okay.
So I love Rey Mysterio. Throughout the years, obviously, he's starting to get a little fat and out of shape.
Yeah,
injuries
he's
have really started to catch up to him.
Mm-hmm.
And his later runs haven't been that great, but I feel like he pretty much has been their biggest Mexican star since Eddie Guerrero.
Pretty much, yeah.
And
no one has come
close. They're pretty much the only luchador wrestler that you can even think of when it comes to WWE.
There's really no one else.
Obviously, he's had his knee injuries, but I feel like if he wants to leave, the WWE should let him leave. Like, they shouldn't let him stay around. He's at that point. Yeah, exactly. He's getting to the age. Exactly.
Reason, yeah. So, with that being said, though, do you think it's time for Rey Mysterio to retire?
Yes. He shouldn't wrestle anymore.
Yeah.
He's way too old now. He started wrestling when he was like 18 years old.
Yeah, exactly.
He's probably like 35, 36 now.
Yeah, I think he's in his late 30s, yeah. But
I love Rey Mysterio.
It's sad because they haven't come out in like the Royal Rumble match in a position they know he's going to get booed.
If I had to see him in one more match, it'd be against Daniel Bryan, too.
Oh, that's a good match. Yeah. They've had a few matches on TV, and they were really, really good.
619, catch them in the yes lock, tap them out.
Yo, that'd be really
good.
Yeah.
Book it. WrestleMania 31.
Yeah, that'd be a really good matchup. I can't think of anyone else. I know he was saying, or maybe it was Del Rio who said he wanted to have his last match with Mysterio. Obviously, that's not the case anymore, at least in WWE.
Rio.
But
he was a jobber for the last while.
Yeah,
they threw him in. What was he in?
What?
He was in something big. A title match.
The IC title match at Battleground Battle Royal.
Was he? No, there's something.
Oh, he was at the pay-per-view that you were at, Money in the Bank.
He was in the Money in the Bank match.
WWE title match.
Oh my god.
He had like Cena, Roman Reigns, Randy Orton, and Alberto Del Rio.
Yeah, exactly.
Like what the heck?
Exactly. I don't know.
And then the next night at the show that I was at, he was on Superstars. I'm laughing, sitting there laughing as he comes out for a match with R-Truth of all people.
Exactly.
On Superstars.
He's fell
for kidding.
Where's Big E been?
Okay, I want to get your thoughts on this too. I want to get your thoughts on this too, RJ.
Right, Graham just marked out. I was like,
okay, before we even get to that, Del Rio, your thoughts on how everything unfolded with him getting fired, the slapping of the social worker, because I'm sure you know what happened.
Yeah.
The social media worker, whatever. So, what are your thoughts on what happened? Do you think he was in the right? What do you think the future holds for Del Rio?
He'll be wrestling in Independence for the rest of his life.
He'll probably be in AA or whatever.
I think they said he declined AA, but
I thought it was funny that TNA, I apparently had, and from some credible sources, had reported that TNA reached out to Del Rio and they were going to give him the world title or something like that. Which is comical because I don't think he can wrestle in the U.S. for the next year or two or whatever. So I don't know why TNA's trying to get hold of him.
Because they need anything to stay alive right now.
Yeah.
They put Bobby Lashley as the champion. That's
Bobby Lashley.
MVP.
MVP.
He sucked.
Yeah. MVP. But, what was I getting at here? What were we getting at here?
Big E.
Oh, no, well, we were talking about Del Rio.
Yeah, you tell us about Del Rio.
Del Rio. So, any final thoughts on Del Rio's controversy?
He shouldn't have hit him.
I think he was on his way out of the WWE.
It was a joke. Get over it, buddy.
Yeah, exactly.
It's obviously based at his race, but still.
Yeah.
It's a joke.
Well, I don't think you should put your hands on someone regardless of whatever they said. It's not to the point of losing your job.
Yeah,
you know what
exactly.
I mean? I think it just got to the point where he didn't care,
yeah.
So he just slapped him and said, screw it, I'm out of here anyway. Yeah. His contract expired. So, that being said, I want to get to something that we're all really excited apparently to talk about. Big E, Kofi Kingston, and Xavier Woods.
Oh my god.
Now, okay, one night removed from Battleground, they had formed this Nation of Domination stable. However, it was a couple weeks later that the feud, the whole angle was completely dropped. What were your thoughts on the angle, the new Nation of Domination, as it's being called, or was called? What were your thoughts on it when it first formed, and what were your thoughts on it when it was dropped from TV?
Well, if anything, it was like something for them to do. Obviously, they haven't done anything in the last couple months, so ever since Big E lost the title, the guy has been nothing.
Which is the shame, because I think about a year ago when he turned babyface and won the IC title, I think he was really doing well.
Exactly, and then when they dropped it, I was just like, oh, back to Superstars, the main event for you guys.
Yeah, exactly, but they're not even on TV, that's the thing. They've just been on, I think, working like dark matches or house shows or something. Or
Big E dropped fast.
Yeah.
He must have shit on Cena or something.
He was, what was he doing? He was facing Randy Orton earlier this year, when he was champion and stuff like that. He was the IC champion, like you just said before. As soon as he dropped that title, job to Rusev, job to whoever else, done. He's gone from TV after that stable pretty much ran its course, which is a shame because I thought it had a lot of potential.
I feel like it has the potential, but this day and age, people might take it for worse than it really is.
Yeah, but I don't think it would be about
they can't
race,
do the
though.
Nation of Domination
No,
like it was in the 90s. That stuff's way different.
No, I don't think it just didn't have to be about race, though. I think it could have been about them being just held down and just not being given the opportunity. Like with the thing, like with Big E, he could say that, I was
IC title.
I was the IC champion a few months ago, and I'm not even on TV. What gives? Form us up with Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston, and you got yourself a good stable. But why they dropped it, or maybe they're testing out at dark matches on house shows and stuff, I'm not exactly sure, but that's pretty much the deal with that. So anything else in the last couple months that you want to rant about? John Cena being champion, Brock Lesnar being champion.
Brock Lesnar deserves to be champion.
Jeff, any thoughts?
Quick plug. How about Dolph and The Miz last night?
Let's talk about that.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that.
The feud over the Intercontinental Championship.
I mean,
Jeff, what were your thoughts on that segment?
That segment was beautiful. Dolph ran it just glorious. And when he took out Miz and, what's his name?
Damien Sandow.
Damien Sandow.
Yep.
Oh, I was chanting Dolph in my room. And I love Dolph.
What were your thoughts, RJ, when Dolph Ziggler won the IC title at SummerSlam?
I was glad because I hate The Miz.
You hate The Miz that much?
I love Miz and I hate Miz. He sucks.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because he came back on the same show that Jericho did, at the show that I was at. Yeah.
Him winning the WWE title, Jesus, I don't know what to talk about.
Oh, yeah, a couple of years ago? Yeah. I was just thinking about all the people that have main events at WrestleMania. I was looking at the list a couple of days ago, actually just today. And there's like John Cena, The Rock, Stone Cold,
Bret Hart, everyone.
Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart, like you just said. Everybody. And then there's The Miz. It just sticks out like a sore thumb. It's so comical. But we've got about 10, 15 minutes left. Anything, you want to talk about? Anything going on WrestleRant Radio that you want to talk about? In WWE World, TNA, anything?
Speaking of The Miz, I don't know. You were talking about Del Rio on one of your podcasts. I think you might make the Hall of Fame or something.
Oh, John. Yeah, we were talking about the last week, yes.
I don't see it.
You don't see Del Rio being Hall of Fame worthy? Why is that?
I just feel like his whole career was pretty rushed.
The first year, absolutely.
Yeah, his whole career so far has been pretty rushed, and how he's been booked has been way overdone. He's never been that over, and they just booked him over just because where he is. If he wasn't a Mexican star and they didn't have anyone else, he wouldn't be anywhere. They rushed him to win the Royal Rumble.
Yes.
He won Money in the Bank was rushed.
Yep. WWE title twice.
Exactly.
And I think they've ruined him after that when he lost to Cena a couple times. The whole feud of shame was just a complete bomb.
He's just never been over, and I just don't. I feel like he's one of those guys that like a swagger that they put way too high before he really belonged there.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they rushed to the point where I think if you take away the fact that he's Mexican, he never really made an impact.
Yeah.
Because they put that video up on YouTube a couple days ago, and someone left a comment saying that you forgot the fact that he did all of that in the Money in the Bank winner, like you said, Royal Rumble, while he's Mexican. He was the first ever Mexican-born guy to do that. Okay, but maybe what if, Sin Cara or Mystico, he was the first guy to do whatever. Does that make him, Hall of Fame worthy? I don't know. It's really hard to say.
I'm trying to think of guys. I don't know. I feel like
Adam Rose is from South Africa. Justin Gabriel is the first South African WWE Tag Team Champion. Does that make him Hall of Fame worthy?
No.
Exactly. I don't think
But I feel like for how many guys they've let in with the worst credentials ever, anyone can make it in.
Exactly. At this point, there's really no argument.
There's been so many people that don't belong in there.
Yeah, like Coco Beware, there's Drew Carey, Jerry Springer. I
yeah,
would
but
not be surprised
that's a celebrity. The guys that are wrestlers have made it in don't belong there.
Duel with Butcher has nothing to do
even
with
though
WWE.
This is gonna, you might take this to offense. Even though you love the Ultimate Warrior, his credentials don't make Hall of Fame. I don't think they are Hall of Fame-esque. If you look at any other sport, they're champion, Pro Bowl, Super Bowl, all that other stuff. He has won the WWE Championship and the Intercontinental Championship.
That being said, it's funny that you mentioned that because we were talking about that. I think I was talking about that with John a couple of weeks ago, and that we went to the legitimate Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame. It's in Amsterdam, New York, and the Ultimate Warrior is not in that Hall of Fame. And that was not a surprise. My brother was asking me, why isn't Warrior in the Hall of Fame? Because I don't think, compared to all of wrestling, in WWE, I guess you could consider him a Hall of Famer in that he made an impact in being one of the most popular stars of the late 80s or early 90s or whatever. All of wrestling, he's not a Hall of Famer.
Exactly.
Maybe at the bottom of the barrel, but I'm an Ultimate Warrior fan, Kim, so you know what I mean?
But also, the thing is, another thing I don't get, they bashed him first. They had that DVD and they bashed him.
Yes.
Then all of a sudden they got on good terms again. I don't get that at all. They're all saying how much he sucked, how much of a douche he was, how he sucked at wrestling. It wasn't good promo.
Yep.
He was just there because he was a big body, and then all of a sudden they love him again. So that's another thing that I really don't. Obviously, it just like I just don't. It's
standpoint?
very hypocritical where they came from. Triple H is on there freaking saying how the worst person he ever worked with. Guy sucks on the mic. He's embarrassed to lose him at WrestleMania 12. 18 years later, they're like all love and dove again. It's just I don't get it.
Yeah, they completely erased any history.
With some guys like Coco Beware, I don't think he's ever won a title. At that case, anyone that's ever won a title is eligible to making the Hall of Fame.
And we've talked about this before, in that Sting, you don't believe, is worthy of being in the WWE Hall of Fame. It's not a discussion that we'll get into right now, but I do want to get into this briefly with the 9 minutes that we have left. Sting, in the last couple of months since I saw you last, has been officially announced for the WWE 2K15 video game. What are your thoughts on Sting being a part of the WWE? It is yet to be official, to be made official, but it's looking like Sting is coming to WWE. What are your thoughts?
Just another marketing. That's all I see.
Just another marketing?
Another marketing.
You don't have any interest in a potential Undertaker-Sting match at WrestleMania 30?
I don't want to see Undertaker wrestle again.
You don't? What? If Sting had to wrestle a match at WrestleMania 30...
It would have to be against Undertaker, but I don't want to see him wrestle again.
Okay. But you think it would be a
It would have to be against Undertaker.
Okay.
That's like a dream fantasy booking that people have had for a while.
That being said, too, we also talked about this with John last week and kind of get off the Sting subject, but another guy who could have one more matchup, the guy whose t-shirt you're wearing right now, What Stone Cold 316, might have one more match. According to him, he has yet to really confirm or deny it. I think Austin's one of those people in that he doesn't want to sound like a hypocrite. If he ever wants to have one more matchup, he's been saying for all these years, no, I'm never wrestling again, and he does have one more matchup, people look at him like he's a hypocrite. Therefore, that's why he's saying, maybe he's never really giving a definitive answer. So that's Stone Cold. So I could see why people would be...
Also on the Stone Cold thing, you guys were talking about, between him and The Rock, were saying like...
Face of the Attitude Era, yeah.
How The Rock beat X amount of people at WrestleMania. Beat Stone Cold, he beat Hollywood Hogan, he beat John Cena.
Yes.
But on that note, since I'm the Stone Cold fan, he beat Shawn Michaels in his prime. He beat The Rock twice at WrestleMania.
Yeah, exactly.
And then The Rock went on and beat a lesser Hogan, and then 10 years later beat Cena, which is obviously predetermined. He's going to beat Cena anyways. I feel like the Stone Cold has bigger wins because he beat guys in their prime. He didn't beat Hogan in his prime. And Cena was just like I don't even know how that feud ever came up. That's just a money feud, pretty much.
That was for the money, for the most part.
Exactly.
So, I could definitely see John's argument. I'm definitely struggling to say how I can't really defend his point of view in that sense. I can't really argue with that. In that, I think definitely Stone Cold, or I'm sorry, The Rock, he said, had more high profile wins at WrestleMania, but The Rock may have won more high profile matches outside of WrestleMania. Yep. I know WrestleMania is a show of the show, it's a show of shows. But The Rock had such a great, 6 year, or Stone Cold, I'm sorry, he had a lot of big victories as well. I don't know. I still, to my memory, I know John will disagree in saying The Rock. Overall, better performer, also debatable. Not what we were discussing, not what we will discuss right now, but I still think, to my personal opinion,
the face of the Attitude Era was definitely Stone Cold.
I think
he's the one that started it, and he's the one that pretty much ended this Attitude Era.
I don't think the fact that Rock...
When he was making the Austin 316, that promo, The Rock was still Rocky Maivia.
Yeah.
At that point.
I don't think the fact that Rock is more well-known out of wrestling, maybe that makes him a bigger superstar overall.
He's a better... Exactly, because he's a movie star.
Exactly. But in the terms of the wrestling world, I think Stone Cold is like right there, and Rock, The only reason why Rock was the year of 2000 was because Stone Cold was out. Or 99 or whatever, you know what I mean? So, I still think Stone Cold, but,
Also, my Mount Rushmore wrestling, I gotta get this out there now.
Okay, go right ahead, yeah.
So, I would say Stone Cold.
Okay.
Hogan. Even though I don't want Hogan there, I would say Hogan. Cena has to be there, and then I would say Shawn Michaels.
Shawn Michaels, okay.
I feel like Shawn Michaels, after Hogan and them left, before Stone Cold really grabbed the torch, Shawn Michaels really was the face of wrestling. He was like Intercontinental Champion and made it seem like he was the WWE Champion pretty much. He and
Bret Hart pretty much owned the new generation.
Exactly.
The 90s.
I would want to put Bret Hart in there too because I feel like he's given less credit than he should got.
Bret Hart and Michaels are like the Rock and Austin.
Yeah.
Much. It's really hard
but
to
I feel like Michaels also, he's been around for so long too that I was looking up to his first WrestleMania, it was WrestleMania 6. And he wrestled to 24.
Michaels?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I think he commentated.
No, he stopped at WrestleMania 15.
Right? No, he wrestled. Maybe he wrestled 11 and 12. 13, he was a commentator or the referee for Sid Vicious and Undertaker.
Oh, okay, yeah.
14, he fought Steve Austin.
Yeah.
Then he was off till 19. He wrestled Jericho.
Yep.
Then it was Benoit and Triple H. Kurt Angle, which is one of the greatest matches ever. 22 fought McMahon. 23 was Cena.
Yep.
24 was Ric Flair. 25, 26.
Undertaker.
Yeah. I don't know. I think Shawn Michaels deserves to be up there, but Mr. WrestleMania.
In terms of being on the Mount Rushmore of wrestling.
Yes.
Yeah.
I saw you put Bruno Sammartino, but I know
John didn't agree with that as well.
That's just way too deep in my time.
Yeah. I'm thinking, like, if we're talking WWE, we're talking about, like, when it's most popular, because Bruno was WWF, WWE, whatever.
Yeah.
But that was, like, when it was in the Northeast, and I still think he helped build the company, like, I don't know if there would have been the WWE. Like, without Hogan, there wouldn't have been a wrestling or WWE or whatever. Bruno kind of fits that bill as well, so that's why I put him on there. But if we're talking, like, the superstar era, then you have to take him out and put in someone like... He put in The Rock, I think. Yeah, he put in The Rock, and you said Shawn Michaels. So, yeah, we kind of skipped over the new generation. But if you want someone to represent every generation, it's Hogan, Cena, Michaels, Hogan, Cena, Michaels, Stone Cold, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So,
If I put a fifth person on there, it'd probably be The Rock.
Yeah, because The Rock and Stone Cold
Rock
were
and
so
Bret Hart
close.
be close.
Yeah, they're all... It's so debatable. It's like one of those lists that there's really no definitive list in terms of the greatest of all time. It's
just
all
pin based.
So, absolutely. But that's going to about do it. We got about 3 minutes left. Any final topics? Any one last topic that you want to talk about? What else is going on right now? Night of Champions is coming up. Any expectations for that show?
Hopefully it's good. I feel like Takeover might be better.
That's the thing. We were talking. Takeover and Payback happened in the same weekend. This one, not the case. But Takeover has a lot of potential to be a great show. What are your expectations for Takeover on Thursday?
I feel like these kids can wrestle, and they really bring everything they got. And I feel like WWE kind of has like bad matches sometimes. Even though like they're not as good on camera and stuff like that, they're professional wrestlers. They should be good every time.
Yeah.
And I feel like Damien Sandow. I'd rather watch any NXT match over Damien Sandow.
The joke that he's become,
Exactly.
I definitely agree, yeah.
Like, when I went, he was Paul Revere.
Yeah,
at
the Money in the Bank pay-per-view, that was comical.
The only funny thing he did is when he did, the elbow was coming, dropped an elbow. Besides that, it wasn't that
He
good.
tries to make the most of it.
Last night he was spray tanning the Mrs. ass, too.
I thought that was funny. I know a lot of people thought that was
funny.
stupid. I thought that photo itself was very funny,
Yeah.
trying to spin off something that was culturally relevant as opposed to waiting 15 years to bring on Jerry Springer for no reason.
Yeah.
As to why, I think we were talking about this before the show or at the start of the show, that Jerry Springer was injured after being
he was
pumped
like
by
on
the Bella
stretcher,
Twins
yeah.
in the middle of the ring.
Stupid.
Just because the Bella Twins fell on top of him.
Exactly. And Stephanie McMahon did too.
Yeah, and he broke like a hip or something. Makes absolutely no sense, but that's going to do it for the Season 2 premiere of WrestleRant Radio, baby. We are back here on EC Radio. We are streaming live every Tuesday night right here, EC Radio. EC Radio right here, 9 o'clock Eastern Time, 8 Central Time. RJ, as always, thank you for joining me. Good to have you back. Before we let you go, we have to bring back the plugs for Mr. Jeff Stone and RJ. Go right ahead.
You first.
Why do I have to go first?
All right. Want to plug a little Twitter at JeffStone1. It's capital J, capital S. Shout outs. Double A, D Booty, D Meg, Sus. Ray, it's you.
Why is it me? John Keane, Molly, Cam Burns. We haven't heard him for a long time. So I'm plug him.
Thank you.
Shannon Martin, James Connors. I don't even know what my Twitter handle is, but if you look at Graham, then that's...
I tweet all the time, man.
I forget what my Twitter handle is.
And the link to your blog is on there as well, so you can definitely check that out.
And at WrestleRant. That's a plug, too.
Oh, yeah. And if you find me on Twitter, I'm under Johnny Napalm. That's my wrestling name.
There you go. This is wrestling in the next WWE World Heavyweight Champion.
Yep.
Jeff Stone versus Brock Lesnar for the championship, WrestleMania 31.
Johnny Napalm.
Hashtag
Roman Reigns, when he takes it, I'll meet up with him at WrestleMania.
And then Rollins cashes in on you.
Yep, but I beat him.
You beat him?
But I beat him.
That sounds good. We are the shield of WrestleRant Radio right here. We've got
Roman.
Jeff Stone. Roman, what are you, Roman Reigns?
I'm Roman.
What makes
I'm
you?
Seth Rollins.
You're
And
Seth
he's
Rollins?
Dean Ambrose.
So I'm Dean Ambrose. You're Dean Ambrose. Okay. You guys are your
We're
own
the shield. We're the
Okay,
shield.
you guys are your own shield. We'll be... I don't know. We'll be
the Nation of Domination.
Nation
3MB.
Yeah, we'll be 3MB, who got released over the summer since you've been here last, thankfully, because I had a 3MB. But, yeah, that's going to do it.
Gator.
Slater Gator. Yeah, we've got Slater Gator and Los Matadores every week instead, and Adam Rose and the Bunny every single week on Raw. But to help you salvage from anything that you see on Monday Night Raw, any of that garbage, we are back here every Tuesday night, 9 o'clock Eastern Time, 8 Central Time. What the URL is, I'm not exactly sure, but you can check out the archive version at nextairwrestling.weebly.com. Check out WrestleRant Radio. All the episodes over the last year are on the website. Season 1, now of course Season 2. Now RJ just said it before, at WrestleRant on the Twitter. I tweet out WrestleRants all the time. RJ for even more aggressive WrestleRants as well. Gets his thoughts in the wrestling world. We'll be back here, folks, next Tuesday night with more WrestleRant Radio. Thanks for listening, and thanks for joining us. We'll see you then.
Don't